Hello and welcome to another in my series around designer series paper whilst it's on offer. I'm Liz Yuille, I'm from Old Stables Crafts and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK. Today I'm looking at the Beauty of the Earth papers. These are £9.14, reduced from £10.75 between the 1st of July and the 2nd of August. These are the papers. These are cut down to 6x6, but as you can see, some really lovely. These are going to be perfect for your autumn, winter projects. I know it's still summer, but we need to plan ahead, and whilst it's discounted, why not? So that's one side, and then this is the other side. So you've got watercolour effects that look like sky. You've got some nice just green background. Excuse me. Excuse me, dry throat. Tree background. This is a beautiful paper, particularly for scrapbooking. And I particularly love this paper, although I'm not using it today. Excuse me, I am croaky. I would take a sip of water, but I don't have any. Anyway, the paper is from the Beauty of the Earth suite, as is the Beauty of the Friendship stamp set and the dies. I'm going to be using the dies and this Thinking of You stamp. So let me show you the card. Actually, first, no, I'm going to pop those to one side. I'll show you those in a bit. There's some other cards that I have made using these papers. So this is me showing you how to be frugal. I have, let me show you the dies first. I have already done the die cutting. So these are the dies. We've got a large tree with branches. We've got a small tree with branches, a background. So this you would use for this stamp set, for this bit on the stamp set. So this fits around here, although you can just die cut it, and then these two layer and go into this die here. You've also got these two, which you can use with this die. She says, no, you can't. Forget that. You use it with this die. Oh, I knew it was one of the dies. And again, that's a two-step stamp, and you would use that with this tree trunk. But I'm going to use these ones and this. So these two are for the stamps. This is just straight die cutting. I've already die cut the little birdies, and I'm going to need this die, yes, this die in a moment. So I've got some of the rose gold metallic paper from the new annual catalogue. It is metallic specialty paper, it's sort of brushed, and this is the rose gold, which is, it picks up that sort of pink tinge. And I've got two little birds and this little strip, which I'm going to use to do some layering. I've already cut from, which piece of paper is it? It is this piece. I've die cut the leaves, and as you can see from my cinnamon cider piece, I have die cut a tree, and from my Merry Merlot piece, I've die cut the background for the leaves. These are then going to be my layers. So this is very frugal because you can die cut from the middle of your card, so you're getting every last bit out of your card. So let's pop all this together. The first thing I'm going to do is layer up my papers so that they are all stuck down. I'm going to hope that my voice lasts, otherwise this could be a very interesting video. I've been doing quite a lot of filming over the last couple of days, so anything could happen. And I am getting a little bit hay feverish. Right, so I'm not going to press that too hard because I didn't know where the glue was in that hole. And then for this, I'm just going to run some adhesive around the outside, and I'm going to use some seal for that. And I know that it's a very, very narrow, so it's this sort of gap between the paper, the edge of the paper and the edge of the card. So long as I allow for that, I am going to be okay putting my adhesive straight onto my card. Now I'm using more adhesive than I would normally, purely because there are the holes in the middle. So I want to make sure that the paper doesn't lift off and expose the fact that we've been frugal. So there we are. No one would know. Right, okay, so this gets layered onto here, and then this gets layered onto there. So I need to put some glue onto the back of this. Don't need very much, it's good adhesive, so just a few little bits. And we're going to be putting the paper over the top, so there is going to be some protection for all these little bits. Like that. And then pop this onto our tree, or our leaves I suppose. And again, I'm not going to press too hard because I don't know what's on the back. Yeah, so there is some glue, but I can give it a good press from the back without worrying. Now there is a choice. Oh, and don't worry that you may be able to see there's white coming out. Doesn't matter because we're going to cover it up and it dries clear. So we do have the choice of adding a bit of dimension, which I think I'm going to take. Now, I'm just going to pop that behind so that I can see where the holes are. I'm going to use little dimensionals, just in some of the larger spaces, which there aren't very many larger spaces, but there are a few. There's one there. And one just there. I think that's probably all the space I've got, but that's fine. That will just give it that little bit of lift. So let's just take the backings off. And pop that onto our tree. So this is that really lovely autumnal, where things go with all those wonderful colours. And yes, I know it is summer, but hey. And then that's going to go on there. And we're going to have our sentiment just there, so we hide the bottom of our tree. I don't like trees just standing in the middle of nowhere, even though it's in the middle of this lovely forest. So I'm going to have this here, although I might come off the edge. Anyway, so I need a scrap of white card, which I thought I had. Yes, I do, and it really is just a scrap. I've got my stamp all ready to go, so thinking of you, and we're going to use cinnamon cider again. Stamp that down and close the ink pad. Just going to chop this so that it's a smaller piece. And then bring in my baby, my little baby. Here's my little baby. I really do much more die cutting now than I did before we had the mini. It's so convenient just to have it on my desk. Right, so thinking of you, I'm going to be safe rather than sorry. And bring in a little bit of washi tape. This is retired, and we don't have any washi tape at the moment. And just get that so that it is straight. Otherwise it might wobble, and we don't want wobbling sentiments. And then wind that through. You can use a post-it, but other sticky notes are available, of course. And then there is our sentiment, and as if by magic, she says, keeping her fingers firmly crossed, this should be just the right size, yes, to go behind. And to do that, all I did, just to give you the tip, all I did was, let's use this, I lined up so that it was coming off. Helps if it's a square end. Well, neither end's square, that's helpful. Imagine that's a square end. So I lined it up so that it was kind of where the die was going to cut, because you can see that by following the line across, and then I just cut it. So I knew it was going to be just the right size. So, oops, let's get rid of that because it's annoying me. I would use some Seal Plus, but it's just run out. So I'll use some liquid adhesive instead. I just want a really good adhesive that's going to get into all that wibbly space of the brushed effect on this card. We've got some lovely metallics coming in the new catalogue. Can't wait to see them. There we go. So I'm going to stick this to my card front, and then we can build everything up. I'm going to do a little bit in the middle just so that it kind of attaches reasonably. Pop that down there. And then I've got something under there that's annoying. I might actually go out this side and have this coming over the edge as well as this. I'm tempted to put that up on dimensionals, and this is where the edge of your dimensionals really come into their own, because I can then just cut a strip to go there. Push it right to the edge of the card, and then we'll have one of our little birdies in the tree. Up there. Oops. Stick, thank you. And then the other little birdie, I don't actually want it sticking all the way to the background. There we go. The other little birdie, I'm going to grab a very small bit of dimensional. Pop that across the top of its back. And then that can go just there on the corner of our sentiment. So we've got the birds looking inwards, which is always a plan. So there we are, that's the one we've just made. And I've got some others that some of these are using some retired ribbon, but so this is using the same paper, and I did the stamping on the inside. And then we've got that one, and we've got this lovely shadow, which is this one here, and then this one which uses the tree again, but this time I've done it flat, and this is that border that's in the papers, and a now retired ribbon. So that's this, just trimmed for the bottom. So there you go. Lots of inspiration for some cards using the Beauty of the Earth Designer Series paper, which is on sale. All of the dimensions, some close-ups of the projects, etc. will be over on my blog, which is linked in the description bar below. You will also find all the items that I've used and some information about the sale, because obviously we want that sale, we want to make the most of the sale while we've got it. So do go and have a look at that. If you've enjoyed this and found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't already subscribe, please click the subscription button in the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much indeed. I will see you again soon, I hope, with some more Designer Series paper projects. Bye!